Now, let me show you how a structure of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript be laid out. Now, the first thing you have to do is to create a folder. I'm creating my folder on my desktop. Let me choose a picture. Then I'm creating my folder there. Let me call the folder. I call it PVTech, right? I call it PVTech. Then I double click on the folder. I take it to the directory, right? I want to change the directory. I want to change it to the directory now. Then how do I do that? I have to type what I call CMD, right? I type CMD. It take me to directory, which is PVTech. Now I want to open this web app with different VS Code. VS Code. I want to open it with VS, which is code dots, right? I open it with VS Code and I enter. Then we can use any editor. We can use some line tests, any editor. You can also use any editor to achieve this. Then I enter. You can see it has opened for me, right? This is how I've opened it in editor. You can see the folder I created. PVTech is here. Then I can create a file, right? If I create a file, let's call it index.html, right? Sorry, index.html. Right, if I create index.html, now this is the file name, this is the extension. This index, you can call it any name you wish to, but this extension is very important. Immediately you create this extension in HTML, a browser automatically recognizes as a web page, right? Now, this is the structure, this is extension of HTML. But when you go further with more time, when you go advanced in web design, in web development, you begin to see different advanced technology like React.js, TypeScripting. Then the extension might be something like JSS or JTL, JS, or you begin to see TSS, all those things with like the extension. But right now we are using HTML. If I enter now, right, we seen it show index dot what html. Then I want to start lay out the structure. How do I do that? If I hold press shift key down, then press 1, it will pop up this, then I enter, right? Then this is the structure. This is the structure of what? Of HTML. You can see a doc type HTML, HTML lang, which is the language English, which is ENG. Now a meta UFI that is coding Unicode. Now this is when you see this meta name view, content view. Now remember, initially when you build a website, you can only view it on a desktop, right? Now, these days, when you build a website, you make it more responsive. Responsive means that you can view it with any gadget like phone, Android, iPhone, any gadget at all. It will be able to fit in, it will be able to be responsive to that work gadget you are using. Now, this is the first thing that make it possible. That need to make sure that it's here. Then before you begin to write a code to make it more responsive. Now, this is a title of each of the web. You can see a doc type HTML open, HTML closes here, header open, header closes here. Now you can also see that there are things that are meant to be in between the header. That's why at times when you open a server, you see an error code. You see 200 OK, right? 200 OK. Then you also see that is error codes. We call it code. Now we also see 404. You see code. Now these are the now you can see also see a title open, a title group. I can put a title here on the header. Let me call it web exploit. No, let me just call it let's say web hack with PVTech, right? Now this is a web hack with PVTech, right? This is the title. Now you can see body open, body close, but all these are within the open, and the close of what HTML, which is the structure. Now anything I type here, if I type here now, let's say H1, then I close, I say hello, black hacker, right? Hello black hacker, right? Now this is what we display on a browser for me. This is the web page that will display on the browser for me. This is header H1. We have header 1 to header 6 in web development, right? Now this is what we displayed for me on my browser. If I save now, then goes to my browser. Let's go to my folder. This is the folder, right? If I double click, boom, you can see this is what displayed, what I said to display for me. Now this is a web page. This is how a web page be structured. Now remember, we also talk of something like CSS, right? Cascading style sheet. How does this now apply to this? Now let me minimize this. Now let me go to my this thing. Now I can begin to create a CSS to control this structure of HTML. If I come here and I create a file, on that file, let me call it was style.css, right? If I create style.css, I enter, then I will come to this place. Now you can see this a page, this now a page, but they don't really have any relationship now. I have to create a relationship which is has to do with what? Link. Now what do I do? I have to come here now, right, and link them. Then the link must be in between the header, in between the head, sorry for calling it header, in between the head, the open of the head and the close of the head. Then if I come down here and say link, can see it come up link, then I will now type style.css. If I'll say style.css, now I have able to link the style page and the word the HTML page to what? To style page. I have linked two of them together right now. Now let me see, I want to begin to write to control this. Let me give a class name. Let me a class name. Now a class name, let me call it let me just call it navbar. Nav, right? This is a class name. Then let me save it, right? Then if I save it like this, then I can begin to write a code, a script, a web scripting to control this guy here. I can come to this, I've copied this nav, I take it here and say dot, then I paste it. If I paste it and open, I can open and say width, right? I can say 100%, right? Sorry, 100%. Then I say height, let me see, 1000 ps, 1000 ps, right? Then I said background color, let me just choose any random thing. Let me choose blue so that it will show very well. I'm not designing, I'm just trying to show you how a structured website be laying. Then if I come here and I say test align, remember you can see this text on the browser. You can see this page now is totally white, only the text that is here, and this text is beside it, just by the side. Then if I want the text to be at the center, I just have to do what? To lay the text to be at the center. Then how do I do that? I have to come here and say text align, which is what? Center. So if I preview, I save first, I save and I goes to my folder, and click this. Boom. You can see I'm able to push from here to here. I'm able to put background color. I'm able to specify the width and the height that I actually want. Now, this is how to lay out the structure of HTML. Now, let me use a web application to explain this. Let me go to my favorite bank. Let me use my favorite bank, Access Bank. I enter the URL. We bring up this is my Access Bank. Now this is images, right? These are tests. This is the front end. This is what actually give instruction to a client to know what to do. We have seen instruction. We have seen information actually displaying on this page, isn't it? Now, if I want to perform some functionality, some activity, right? What do? I have to go to internet banking. I click on the internet banking. It's booting. Now, if you can see it has opened. Now, let's assume I want to log in, right? If I enter this place now, PVTech, though I don't have any details with them, I'm just explaining, right? I don't have any login, anything I want to put. I want to just create a credential, fake one, and try to log in. Let's say I say PVTech. Oh, sorry, let me click on it for, let me say PVTech, right? Then I come to this place, I also type PVTech, right? Then I log in. You can see it said invalid username or password. Please use forget credentials or forget password to reset your password or retrieve your username. I don't have password. I don't have anything with them. Now, let's look at the structure. This is the response, what has been programmed by JavaScript. This JavaScript that responded to you presently, right? Now, let's go right click. If I right click now, I come to this place. I right click. I go to inspect. Now, inspect will give me this information. Now, this is the structure of HTML, which I just showed you guys on using VS Codes to design. Now, if you look at this structure, you have what is called the HTML open here. You can see the dot type. You can see this header that I just showed. You can see what's that the title is there, the metadata view is there, you can see the whole structure of the word of the HTML. This is the structure of the word of the HTML. Now you can also see a style there. You can see different style, different scripting, which is this CSS that I show you guys. But this CSS you are seeing, they use an advanced, which is this website CSS is built by what's called uh tailwind css. Tailwind css, you can see full, we can see it here, right? Now this is a link of different scripts, different javascripts being linked to the web page. You can see these are different things. You can see here now the central bank. These are the where all these tests you are seeing here, all these tests you are seeing here, this is the front end. This is where it has been what access bank internet, the information has been displayed for you guys, right? I click on different thing. You can see it show me where is it. I continue. It said instant Taiwan. So these are different inspect you need to see using HTML structure. Now, if I want to do something like, let's look at this again. You see this, let's go to application. Click on application, right? When you click on application, you can see things now linking to the database. Linking to the database, can see local storage session, this, which is index DB, right? Now, let me do something funny, like, but please, this for educational purpose. I am not, don't try it. I'm not trying to hack this website. I'm just using it as illustrations. My favorite brand to I bank with. So please don't try to do anything. You remember when I entered login and username, what showed me was invalid username and what and password. Now we have what is called cookies. Cookies are history being installed on a browser. That means if I enter username and password, it can be easily installed on cookies. That's why you see some people, if they enter their email, automatically some web application will bring up the username and password. Also, we enter username and password, you bring out the email. This is to tell you that cookies store those information. Now, I don't have a credential, but let me try to use somebody history to try to log in. Now, before then, the cookies had what we call expiring dates. Now, let's check the expiring date so that we will not use the one that have expired. Let me shape this. Please, like I said, this is for educational purpose. I'm not trying to do anything to this website. I just try to use it as an illustration. Now, if you look at the session, okay, this one is it will expire 22nd February, right? We can make use of it. Then the first thing I will do, let me go click on value. Then if I click on value, then I click one of the TCP. I click here. Good. When I click here, you can see if you go below say cookies value, right? Then I copy this. I copy this. Then I come to login. I close this. I come to this place here. I paste. I come here again. I paste it. Right. Then I want to sign in. I want to log in. Then I click login. Good. You can see this is service is currently unavailable. Please try. Remember when I log in the fake credential, which is pivoted, it tell me invalid credential, right? Now I'm using cookies. It's telling me service is currently not available. That means I'm trying to do something abnormal, which is against hacking, against our professions to do. There is against. I'm trying to do something normal, actually abnormal. Sorry, abnormal, which is not supposed. So this is how people hackers try. They keep on trying. They do one thing and the others to able to bypass a login. Now this is not communicated to the server. That system service is currently what not available. Please, I'm going to stop here for this first series. Please, I beg of you, try to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe button does not take anything from you. All you just need to do is to show you more of my video. In the next series, I'm going to be installing, configuring a browser, configuring a proxy. I'm going in Lennox operating system. So we're going to be doing a lot in the next series. Please, the next list is uploaded. Please, all you need to do for me, like, share, click the subscribe button for this channel to grow. Thank you for watching. The next series will be coming soon. Thank you. Jesus again, again.